That's long no class, right?
So I was on class. You busy, sir?
Kind of, yeah, I'm starting class right now.
Okay, okay. I'll get at you. I want to.
Okay, no sweat. Um, all right, if you want to, I'm about to say, damn near call in for class and ask a question. We're going. I'm not going to be on the line, but you can just pretty much call back in about like 10 minutes. I just answer the phone. All right. Sean George. Sean George. This is the song I used to play at the beginning of every class when I first came into the
You're
school.
taking a trip with your friends.
Not this.
Why pay for 4 hotel rooms to stay apart from your friends?
You don't know the right time with the function with Spongebob Ministry. When the healing come to children step wise. Even though they make mention of them and those, when they will never be friend. For your part, you know why? You know why? Yes, you got the art of fucking. Just confidence of the Almighty One. Some of the heart of demons, the children of the heart of a lion. I know people are moved with Satan. Righteous walk in the countenance of the Almighty One. So people say, hostility, rising daily, ignorant multiply, brutality. We I say, that they run and left money. Discover the hard road with fight beginning. Our eyes see baby, having baby. Nothing that happen now do not seems to one man's way. We know that is the fulfillment of prophecy. Our eyes see them not build school is church and penitentiary. Church, they never empty. Still bring a mental trick on me. Listen, you check you and me check me. And let's bring more love in our community. Never be out of a the children of the heart of the lion. Even a fool with Satan. Righteous walk in the confidence of the Almighty One. Never be out of the children of the heart of the lion. Even a fool with Satan. Righteous walk in the confidence of the Almighty One. Respect the father of the prophet Moses and Abraham. You have to respect the father of Jacob and Solomon. Respect the creator of many nations. He made the birds, he made the easy fishes of the ocean. And also them together with his mighty. And he made them and he made woman. Children, the future of the man. So if you could disrespect the creator, man. 72 nations go down and go in conquering man. It will be beautiful in the sight of God, they will put it on. To see the unification of my nation. Never be out of a pagan. The children of the heart of a lion. People are moved with Satan. Righteous walk in the confidence of the Almighty One. Never be out of demons. The children of the heart of a lion. People are moved with Satan. Righteous walk in the confidence of the Almighty One. People see hostility rising daily. Ignorant multiply, brutality. We I see that the run down left mommy. To stop the hard road with fight beginning. Our I see baby having baby. Nothing that happened now do not seems to one man's way. We know that is the fulfillment of prophecy. Our eyes see them not build school is church and penitentiary. Church, never empty. Still bring a mental trick on me. Never be out of a the children of the heart of a lion. People are moved with Satan.
All right, let's get it there. All right, let's go ahead, clap it up. Start off saying Shalom, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, Baruch Thumb to all the brothers, Yahweh Shamar Thumb by Shem Yahushai to all the sisters. I'm Priest and Officer 5000 Kasar Pakad. It's the Thursday night scripture breakdown for ISUPK Northern California, ISUPK Sacramento. As we always start things off, we're going to go ahead and see if we got any questions online. If you have any questions, type them in the chat. If you got any questions in the room, let's go ahead and get down. Go ahead, up.
Sluggy, sir. I have a question on pretty much Christians in the world, or not in the world, but that are heathens, that say they've had visions of Christ that brought them to being Christians, brought them to being able to read the Bible. I was wondering, what is that biblically?
Okay, what is it biblically? Let's see something real quick. Give me. Not that. Let's see, Jeremiah. Let's go to Deuteronomy 13:1.
Kind of one.
This is partial of it. Now you saying for Christians, you talking about any Christian? You talking about Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans specifically?
So like I'm talking about like heathens.
Heathens.
Kind of like the Muslims that become Christians, the Africans that become Christians, and they all have quote unquote testimonies talking about having visions of Christ.
Okay. What do you think it is? I'm let me get to the root of the question. Like, what is it?
So like in my idea it's an evil spirit. Like like the whole thought of them coming to Christ is them coming to just like an evil spirit completely separate from what the Lord actually is, and they just disguise it as in the Bible pretty much.
Okay.
But I'm not sure exactly. Is that what it is? Because in their mind, they're good. Like they follow the Bible now. Like they're Christians in their mind.
Okay.
Where does that phenomenon come from?
So Ecclesiastes. Let's go to Ecclesiastes 12:10.
Kind of.
Now with this question right here, right? It's one or two possibilities, but 90% of the times it's just gonna be this one way right here. So
1 in 10, sir?
12 and 10.
12 and 10. So
Yeah. Go ahead.
This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 12, verse 10. Never trust thine enemy.
What does it say?
Never trust thine enemy.
So sometimes.
Never trust thy enemy.
If they say they love you.
Never trust thine enemy.
They care for your best outcome.
Never trust thine enemy.
Vote for me. I'm gonna say the ghetto.
Never trust thine enemy.
I had a vision from God.
Never trust thine enemy.
Jesus said I should be a pastor.
Never trust thine enemy.
You understand? They're lying. That's what they do. Matter of fact, go to Psalms 58:3. I think that's what I want. Let's see. Yeah, that's what I want. Psalms 58:3. I believe so. I'm pretty sure that's it right there. So, long story short, yeah. Go ahead, when you got it.
It's the book of Psalms, chapter 58, verse 3. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born.
The Bible says the wicked are estranged from the womb, like they're born this way. This is another thing you hear a lot in the world. It's something that we have fallen victim to as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. We've fallen victim to this idea that your oppressor is evil because they learned it. You heard that one before? Where they like, there's nothing wrong with little white children when they're born. They learn it from their parents. And as long as we can teach them and educate them, then they will be better people and they won't be racist. They won't hate you. They won't come into your school and shoot it up. You know what I mean? They won't blow up the neighborhood. Nah, it's not true. The Bible says, one more time.
The wicked are estranged from the womb.
Man, they're born like this. It's something in them that makes them hate Black people. The Bible says they have a perpetual hatred for the children of Israel. You don't have to teach this little white baby anything. It's going to grow up and it's going to try to dunk a basketball, and Jamal gonna come and boom on him. Man, I hate this nigga. I want to kill. I don't even know why. They have something in them. You can go into the scientific level of vitamin D. Like black people, you know what I'm saying, our skin can go in the sun. We can stand in the sun. Black and brown people, we can be in the sun longer. Matter of fact, they even another thing, they say the Aztecs, they call them the sun people, like they could be in the sun longer than anybody. You know what I'm saying? So you get vitamin D from the sun. You heard that before, right? And if you're vitamin D deficient, your mood is changed. You can become suicidal, you can become aggressive, you can become erratic in your behavior. And Edomites, they come from an area where they don't get a lot of vitamin D because there's not a lot of sun up there. But even still that, we can go scientific with it, but just biblically, there's something that's in them that makes them act the way they act. And they always have these studies on nature versus nurture. Like, is this person born this way, or did they learn this behavior? And they did a study on 3 twins, or triplets, and they split them up at birth on purpose. They doing evil experiments just to get their scientific experiment out. That's evil as hell to separate 3 kids, not for any reason other than to run an experiment on their life. And they put one of the kids in a low-income house. They put another kid in a medium-income house, and they put another one in a high-income house. And so they watching them and checking them their whole life. Long story short, 2 of them wind up going to the same college. One went 1 year, then the next year, another one of the triplets enrolled in the same school. And his first day of school, people running up to him like, "Hey, how you doing, Bob?" And they, "Oh man, come over here. And I ain't seen you in a long time." They hugging him, saying hi. He said a girl walked up to him, gave him a kiss. He like, "Man, I like this school." You know what I'm saying? Then somebody else came up and saw him, and his jaw dropped. And he ran to the phone, and he's like, "Man, call his roommate." He was like, "You have to come meet this person. This is your twin right here." And so he came and realized that his twin brother was known on the campus, and that's why everybody was greeting him. And he knew off bat that they were twins. It turns out they were twins. So they had a big story, ended up getting in the newspaper, getting on TV, and they go on TV and they're like, "Yeah, I found my long lost brother, my twin brother. Didn't know I had." The triplet watching the thing on TV end up calling them like, "Nah, it's another one out here." So now they all linked up. They started going on tour, and they had so many similarities, even though they never met each other, even though they had different backgrounds as far as the incomes that they grew up in. They still favorite food was this type of pizza. They still favorite color was blue. They still all wanted to become firemen or whatever. You know what I mean? They all married women with the same type of career. Everything was it's just eerie how similar they were, even though they never met each other. And so that led them to say, okay, there's something in your nature that makes you act a certain way. Something that their fathers, now we know the truth, their fathers determine who you are. Their father left something in them that made them be a certain way. Basically, long story short. So I know I get on long tangents to like it, but the wicked go estranged. These people are liars. Keep reading.
Verse 3. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies.
So long story short, people saying they're having these visions, 99% of them is just lying. People saying it's just like people catching the Holy Ghost, catching the Holy Spirit. Now, out of that 1%, could there actually be a demon talking to them or making them see something? That's possible. And I'll say that it's possible because this demon might need this devil to do this here. Like, in order for, I'm watching a little docu-series on Netflix about Alexander the Greek, the world, they call him Alexander the Great. And they're saying that before, I think his mom died, or before he went on this big mission to conquer the world, his mother told him that he was the son of Zeus instead of his regular father that had just died. And so he had some psychological confidence because he started to believe it, or allegedly that he was from a divine source, and so he felt like he had the ability to conquer the world because that was his divine destiny. Now, the Bible says the Lord makes kings get in power, who's in charge. The Lord will harden Pharaoh's heart and allow him to not want to let the Israelites be free. So the Lord will use angels and demons, or whatever how you want to call it, demons, to go to these people and give them this feeling or give them this idea, and now they end up taking over the world, or they end up running this big empire because that's what he wants at that time. So it might be one random Christian pope or pastor that had this thing, and he thinking this is what it is, and he's going on this mission is really because the Lord is setting them up to be destroyed. But 99% of everything else is garbage. So who's to say, did Muhammad really have some crazy visions that made him believe this, and now he created this big religion that now you get 9/11 out of, now you get Gaza, now you get, the Lord needed all that to happen. So if he needed some crazy Ishmaelite to believe some vision, then maybe he made that happen. I can't say for sure what exactly went down in these situations, but it is possible, but it's very rare. The majority of your average rank and file Christian you meet at the store is saying they had some dream, they're just lying. You know what I'm saying? That's what they do. You know what I mean? So hopefully that answers your question. Yeah. Either way, we don't trust anything they say. We don't follow them. So, but maybe you're trying to combat people that do want to follow them. They say, oh, this person had this vision. And
well, no, usually the people directly that say they have some quote unquote testimony of experiencing Christ, but their whole concept of Christ is just
he's a white man and is a
it could be more African, or even
they go too, and they go to hell. They have all those stories that I was in hell for 3 days.
Heaven, or heaven.
Yeah, it was a dream. People think they die as gas. You got flatulence. Like this is a dream you had. You're high. A lot of those people are high. A lot of them are schizophrenic. A lot of them having dreams. You know what I mean? It's more just something that's not mystical. It's just anything can happen to anybody, but it's just not of the Lord. It's not of the demons or anything like that. All right. Anything else?
Sir.
Okay, let's go ahead. I'm gonna get into tonight's topic. Let's clap it up one more time. So like I get long-winded with stuff. Tonight's topic is discipline. Discipline is something that's very important when it comes to anything that you want to do in life. Give me Ephesians 6:1. Go ahead.
This is the book of Ephesians, chapter 6, verse 1. Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right.
Right. This is the one precept I knew and could quote off of hand just from growing up. This is what my grandmother, she used to drill this precept into. It's the only Bible verse we knew by heart. It's Ephesians 6:1. Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. This word obey in my book is in all caps. It's very important. We're going to look up a few words. What does obey mean? Shot. Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. I wish we can get this Alexa thing working. We're gonna go old school. What's the definition of obey?
Definition of obey. To follow the commands or guidance. To confirm or to conform or to comply with.
Ooh, I like that one. Conform. Conform means to get in line, Children, obey your parents, conform. Keep your phone. We're going to look up a couple more words too as we go. That means to conform, to get in line, to be in order with what your parents are telling you to do. Now it says, now go ahead, you break it down. Like, what does this mean? Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right.
Salakia, sir.
Mhm.
That means to change yourself for the sake of your parents, for the Lord, to be different.
When it says in the Lord,
To obey.
okay,
It means to follow the law, statutes, and commandments.
because it says in the Lord.
Come.
Okay, yeah, I'll take correct. So basically, you are supposed to listen to your parents, but if they tell you to do something unlawful, they tell you to celebrate Christmas, you don't have to listen to your parents. They tell you you eat this pork, we'll order you to eat this pork, you don't have to obey your parents in that instance, right? So it's key that you should listen to your parents in the Lord, that they're guiding you right according to the laws of God. Keep reading verse 2.
Come. Verse 2. Honor thy father and thy mother,
Right.
which is the first commandment with promise.
Right. This is the first commandment with promise. When you do this, then this is going to happen.
Your days will be long.
Right. Let's get it. Exodus 20. Hold that one in Ephesians.
Come.
Exodus 20, right?
And most high Christ. So like Exodus
20. Let's see. Is that right? Yep. Verse 12. Exodus 20:12.
Come.
Mm-hmm.
Khan. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 12.
Mm-hmm.
Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee.
Right. So we go back to Ephesians. Like, out of all the commandments, you got, thou shalt not have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not commit adultery. All these different laws that we have. But this law that was given comes with a promise. Like, if you do this, you're going to live a long life. If you don't do this, then you know you're going to live a short life. It's pretty plain and simple, cut and dry. But it's very important because it came with this, right? Read verse 3. Go ahead.
So with that, because there's a fear of the Lord, in which some people have the sense where it's like if they don't do this, they understand that the Lord will kill them, that they will die. Is this similar to that, where it's like you should also have that fear? It's like you understand where you disrespect your parents in this way and not following the laws and how they guide you.
Mm-hmm.
You can expect to, or have that sense of death, impending doom, or not impending doom, but that sense of I might die because of this. Yeah,
you wouldn't want to have that. You wouldn't want to have that fear, and it's also, we always say a spiritual death too. Your life can be short. Spiritually, you might be alive, but you're doing 25 years in prison. So how alive really are you? You're dead too.
Right.
You be walking around addicted to heroin because you didn't listen to your father tell you don't hang out with these people and don't do drugs. You see what I mean? So you can be dead in that way too. Your life will be shortened if you disobey your parents that are in the Lord. Go ahead. So this be able to be referring to, it's both physical death and spiritual death as being like dry bones. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You can always, when it comes to death in certain senses, you can always apply it to both. You know what I mean? Yeah. Keep going. Verse 3. Mm-hmm. Verse 3. Mm-hmm. That it may be well with thee. Right. And thou mayest live long on the earth. Right. If you want to live long on earth, then this is what you need to do. Keep going. Verse 4. Verse 4. And ye fathers, provoke not your children to wrath, but bring them up in the nurture and admonition of the Lord. Right. So fathers, provoke not your children to wrath, but bring them up in the nurture and admonition of the Lord. Meaning, how can you provoke your children to wrath? How can you make them angry? You're doing something unlawful to them. You're abusing them in some way, shape, or form. you're not raising them up right. You're not teaching them what's right. You're doing something that's wrong, and that's why they would come to hate you. You know, but you're supposed to nurture for them, care for them, and admonition means to correct somebody. Go ahead.
That's like it, sir. I have the definition of admonition.
Most High Christ. Go ahead.
An act or action of admonishing, authoritative counsel or warning.
Right. So you're supposed to warn your children, correct them, and say, this is what's going to happen if you do this. If you don't listen to me, this is what's going to happen. And when children, if you're not doing anything, there's no purpose behind it. It's just now that becomes abuse. You see, they're like correcting someone and disciplining someone is to save their life and make them better. But just you're gonna beat this child because they spilt some water. You know what I mean? That's not really correcting them. You're just abusing them. You know what I'm saying? And that's the same thing. And keep going.
Verse 5. Servants, be obedient to them that are your masters according to the flesh.
Right. So this is what I wanted to get to, right, when it comes to discipline, because it's the same thing. The discipline you have with your family, with your children, with your father is the same discipline that we are supposed to maintain in the truth. It's the same order we're supposed to maintain in the truth. And this is why it's saying, servants, be obedient to them that are your masters according to the flesh. Now, people in the world, they love to use this one and say that this means slavery. You're supposed to obey your masters that are your slave masters. But in reality, what is it talking about?
So like I said, it's talking about those that are working under or working for someone. It's not like the same type of slavery that we think of like modern times. It's more like indentured servitude.
La.
Oh,
La. So this one right here, read it one more time.
Verse 5. Servants, be obedient to them that are your masters according to the flesh, with fear and trembling, in singleness of your heart as unto Christ.
Go back one. Start with where it says with. How are you supposed to obey them?
With fear.
With what?
With fear.
With what?
With fear.
One more time.
With fear.
Keep going.
And trembling.
And
singleness of your heart,
right,
as unto Christ.
So as unto Christ is giving you a hint of what this is talking about. Because you can be a servant at Chipotle. You work for Chipotle. You work for McDonald's. Should you fear your manager at the job like Christ? You see what I mean? It doesn't make sense. So who is this talking about?
So like I said, will it be talking to women?
La.
So like I said,
no sweat. We're gonna read verse 6 and get it to reveal a little bit more. Go ahead.
Verse 6. Not with eye service,
right,
as men pleasers, but as the servants of Christ,
right,
doing the will of God from the heart.
Right. So what does it mean when we say kan adawan kan? What does that mean in English? Do you know?
Yes, Lord.
What's another word for Lord?
Yes, Master.
Yeah.
Kan.
All right. Does it make sense?
Kan.
What is this talking about now?
It's talking about it's like the men over you, above you.
Right. Read it one more time for verse 5.
Kan. Verse 5. Servants.
Somebody that's of a lower rank, right?
Be obedient,
right,
to them that are your Adawan.
Right. That are your masters. You just keep reading like it is in here in English though.
Kan.
That are your what?
Masters.
Right.
According to the flesh.
Right.
With fear and trembling.
With what?
With fear.
Right.
And trembling.
Right. It's supposed to be a certain amount of fear that you have for the men over you, right? And trembling, right? Because of what is going to explain itself. But you fear the Lord and you obey the Lord. And if everyone is doing this, then his will be done. Like if the man over you is fearing the Lord and obeying the Lord, and you're fearing him and you're obeying him, you're going to do the work of the Lord. You see what I mean? Because the orders that you're getting come from the Lord. So keep going.
Verse 7. With goodwill doing service.
No, go back to read you have with fear and trembling.
With fear and trembling, and singleness of your heart as unto Christ.
Right. So your mind, your heart is your mind. Your mind should be single-minded. I am not getting this order from this man. I'm getting it from Christ. It was passed down. So I'm single-minded. This is rank and order. This is structure. This is discipline. You see what I'm saying? And now if you're single-minded, it doesn't matter who's saying it. You follow the order that's given. Keep going.
Verse 6. Not with eye service as men pleasers,
right?
But as the servants of Christ.
Right. So you don't do it with eye service. You don't do it because someone's seeing you. You're not in order and you saying, you know, I follow orders and I say Kana don't want Khan and I respect this brother here and I'm doing everything to be seen. That's Christianity. That's what the Christian church looks like. It looks like a hell of a B-roll.
Right.
You look at T.D. Jakes in his church and everybody, they sitting while he talking, all the deacons in the background, they just look so, they love T.D. Jakes and they holding their hands, people crying and he talking and they falling on the ground, all that. He pointed them, it's a show. When they leave and the lights go off, he over here. I hate T.D. Jakes. He over here, man. That nigga making all this money. He ain't giving us none of that money. This over here, that over there. I don't like how this person did that. They hate each other in the Christian church. That's eye service. Those are men pleasers. They're doing it for someone to say, good job. Huh? They're doing it so that someone can say, look at this brother. He is amazing. Everybody look at him. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him. This is what they're doing it for. That's a man pleaser. You're supposed to be doing it for the Lord. Why do we say Most High in Christ?
That's like it, sir.
Do you know, has it ever been broken down to you?
No.
Okay, this is a good thing to learn. Someone says, that headband is fire. What do we say?
Most High in Christ.
Right. They say, man, that camp speaking you did was amazing. What do we say?
Most High in Christ.
Man, that food you cooked was the best I ever had.
Most High in Christ.
Right? Because the credit goes to the Most High in Christ.
Right.
I am nothing. This headband cool, but the Most High in Christ gave it to me.
Right.
The food I cooked was too wild, but I learned that because the Most High in Christ allowed me to learn it. Allowed my hands to do that. Everything that I do is for the Lord, and it's because the Lord allowed me to do it. So we don't take credit and be, oh, you know what, you're right, I did do that. That's not the style in the UPK. We have this culture, and we set this culture down so that we can always remember why we're doing this. Because if you don't, then you will do what verse 6 is saying. One more time from the top.
Book of Ephesians, chapter 6, verse 6.
Right.
Not with eye service as men pleasers,
right,
but as the servants of Christ.
Right.
Doing the will of God from the heart.
Okay. So you can get some rank? From where?
For Christ.
No, it says from the heart.
From the heart.
Doing the will of God from the heart, because this is what you believe in.
Right.
You're working for Christ. You're not working for rank. You're not working for credit. You're not working for a Facebook post. You're not working for a name. You signed up for this job to do the will of the Lord.
Right.
That's what he is teaching these brothers back then.
Right.
And this is what maintains discipline. Keep going.
Verse 7. With good will doing service as to the Lord and not to men.
So a brother come tell you to go wash the toilet in the school. Why is that?
Helping the brothers in the school.
Huh?
Helping the brothers in the school.
Yep, and then helping the brothers in the school is doing what?
Serving Christ.
Exactly. You see what I'm saying? is that order is the work of the Lord. It sounds crazy. It sounds simple. People in the world can understand that. But for everything to be done and what we're doing, somebody's going to have to clean the toilet. You understand? But that is the work of the Lord. Now, I can't order you to tell you to come clean the toilet at my house. That's the work of Satan to do that, to tell a brother to do that. But you tell a brother to take the trash out or to wash the windows or to get the tire fixed on the van that we use to go to camp, whatever, all of that, you're not doing that because this man asked you to do it. Because if so, you would be doing it at his house. Right. But you're doing this for the school, for the Lord. This is what you came here for. So why does it matter? It should never matter who said it. If I tell you, hey, put that drink down, you had too much. Why is that?
That's like it, sir. It was an order given by someone who's under the Most High.
Right. So who wants you to stop drinking?
It's the Most High.
Exactly. At that moment. See what I'm saying? It's a very simple concept. It's easy to read it. It's easy to understand it. Sometimes it's hard to live. Sometimes it's harder to live for more people than others. You understand? You have a soldier mentality. You carry yourself like a soldier. This is not a hard concept to understand. It's not a hard concept to live. You know what I mean? You really follow the Lord. This is very simple and cut and dry, man. Right. And if it's hard for you, why is it hard for you?
It's like it's hard because you're battling your flesh.
You on it? What do we call that?
It's like would it be an evil spirit?
What's another word? One West. One West word that we would say. You on it?
Salakia.
That brother has a demon. There you go. That's a demon. I'm telling you, I'm gonna be straight up. I demon check myself all of the time. I try to. Like I said, sometimes brothers, everybody can mess up, right? But I try to check myself. Like, is that a demon? Ask myself, like if I'm going on Facebook, I might see a brother. I might have met the brother one time. I'm like, damn, he remind me of somebody in the world I don't like. And all this is more subconscious. Like, I'm not sitting there constantly thinking like that. But now when I'm thinking like, damn, I see this brother on Facebook. I'm like, man, I met this brother one time. And I just scroll past the post. I don't like it. I don't share it. And once I do that, I'm like, man, that's a demon. Go back, like it, share it on purpose. Like, why? What the hell is wrong with me? You know what I'm saying? That was a demon talking to me, making an issue with this brother for no reason. I don't even know this brother. That's worldly stuff. Like, that really happens in the world. That's how I grew up. You grow up, you moving through life, streets, whatever you want to call it. Like, you have to learn how to put people into certain categories, read people. You like, okay, that type of nigga. Okay, I don't trust him. Like, all right, watch him. All right, you know what? He just remind me of a nigga. I just don't like this nigga. You ain't never met him. It's in hundreds of movies. A dude come in, I just don't like your face. Nigga, we enemies. Just from the jump. Women do that too. I see a sister laughing. Women is super good for that. That's a whole nother level that men don't. Ours 9 times out of 10 is about safety. Like, I can see something in this dude's eyes or whatever. Just something. You can't have that in the truth. We all are here together. We all came to serve the Lord together. There is no, that I get a vibe from this. No, if this brother has not done anything to you for you not to like him, you're breaking the commandments of God. Right. Because you cannot be evil. I have to find that precept. What's that precept? Go ahead.
That's like I was going to ask. Would that be also relatable to being respectful of persons?
Exactly. We're going to get that one too. That's a very heavy one. Explain a little bit more.
So like I said, just based on experiences that you've had in the past, you respect just this person because of that, even though they have nothing to do with whatever it is you don't like about them.
You kind of lost me. One more time. So you're saying this person right here
that that you don't like,
right?
Because let's say
someone similar to them Or are you
let's
talking?
say they're from the same a neighborhood from someone else that you don't like.
Right,
Let's say
right.
that you don't respect them because of that,
Right,
even though they have nothing to do with the reason why you don't like them.
right. And he's saying that's a respecter of persons.
Con, I'm asking, would that be similar to that?
Interesting. It's kind of in a backwards way. It's more of like it's more of this one right here. Give me Matthew 5:22.
Con.
Respecter of persons is more the original reason in this breakdown in this precept is you're showing favor to the rich over the poor.
Right.
You have a respecter of person. This person says something, and you are Kanye. He said we Israelites. It's a nigga on the corner been saying we Israelites every year since 1969, and you like whatever nigga. Kanye West come out and said, then it's like, oh my God, did you hear this? You ever heard this? You telling your mama, you calling everybody, and it's because of who said it, not what was being said. That's a respecter of persons. Now, this is more onto what you're saying.
Matthew 5, verse
22.
It's the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 22. And they immediately left the ship and their father and followed him. 23. And Yahushua went about. Oh, Slaki, I'm in the wrong.
Yeah. Matthew 5:22.
Slaki, sir.
That's what.
This book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 22.
Right.
But I say unto you that whosoever is angry with his brother without a cause, shall be in danger of the judgment.
Right. So that is there anything else on that one? All right. Whosoever shall say Rakah, is that what it says?
It's kind of whoever say to his brother, Rakah shall be in danger.
Right.
The counsel, but whosoever shall say thou fool, shall be in danger of hellfire. Right.
So it's just saying that for one, whosoever is angry with his brother without cause shall be in danger of the judgment. Like you don't know this brother, you have no reason, nothing to have not offended you in any way, shape, or form, and it's just something telling you don't like this person. That is a demon on you. You understand? You have to be aware and say, hold on, that's a demon. Whatever it was telling you to do the opposite of that. Do the right thing. You see what I'm saying? Like, oh man, I just don't like, I'm not about to pick them up. I'm not about to answer the phone. I just don't want to talk to this. That's a demon. You see what I'm saying? All these things are trying to interfere with your brotherhood. And so Christ is upping the law in this verse. Christ didn't do away with the law. He upped the law. So read it one more time. I know I keep reading about it. Read it one more time. Yeah.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 22. But I say unto you that whosoever is angry with his brother without a cause shall be in danger of the judgment.
Right, so the judgment shouldn't come for somebody just being angry. That's not how the Israelites were rocking. That's not in the law. You don't get no trial or get anything because you're angry. Everybody angry. We always angry. You're angry at the light. Someone cut you off. You're angry at the McDonald's. Your fries too cold. You're angry. We angry with Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans all of the time. You're angry with your mom. You're angry with your brother. You're angry with your children. That's what we doing. Christ is like, man, you angry with this brother, you might face some judgment because it's without cause. All right? For no reason. Keep going.
Verse and whosoever shall say to his brother, Rakah, shall be in danger of the council.
Right. You saying Rakah to your brother is like, it's not thou fool. I forget. This one, forgive me on this one. I gotta go back and see what Rakah is because we had two different things at a certain time brothers was saying, but it was actually this version of it, and I can't remember which one it was. But it's just like, for example, it was similar to like saying you fool or you're dumb or you're evil. I think you call this brother evil by saying he's Rakah. You know what I mean? You'll be danger in the council. Keep going.
But whosoever shall say, thou fool, shall be in danger of hellfire.
Right. So now you're disrespecting another brother verbally. You could be in danger of death. So Christ is upping the law and saying, and underneath his rulership, the slightest things, the slightest amount of evil you have amongst your brothers, your life could be in danger. It's more than just you stealing from him, or you then killed somebody, or you committed adultery. You might die disrespecting a brother for no goddamn reason. You see what I'm saying? This is the discipline that Christ was putting down. All right. I think let's go back to Ephesians, and we're gonna run through these last verses. I think we have verse 9. Man.
So like
Ephesians 6 and 8.
Verse 8.
Yep.
This is book of Ephesians, chapter 6, verse 8. Should I start at 7 or 8? So like you said.
We can do 7. Yep.
Verse 7.
Mm-hmm.
With good will, doing service as to the Lord and not to men.
Right. Keep going.
Verse 8. Knowing that whatsoever good thing any man doeth, the same shall he receive of the Lord, whether he be bond or free.
Right. Whatever good thing you do, you're gonna receive good things from the Lord for doing that righteous thing. Doesn't matter what. You don't need to get any type of credit. You know what I'm saying? Being men pleasers, eye pleasers, and all that type of stuff. Keep going.
Verse 9.
Mm-hmm.
And ye masters, do the same things unto them, forbearing, threatening, knowing that your master also is in heaven. Neither is there respect of persons with him.
Right. So yeah, you're over these men, and yes, you are in charge. However, it shouldn't be using like threatening, like violent, like you're trying to harm someone, or you're doing this in a malicious way. That's abuse of power, basically. You're abusing your rank, knowing that your master is also in heaven. So you following the Lord, and that he can deal with you in any way, any given time. And neither is there respect of persons with him. So he's not about to give you the pass because you have rank and you're doing evil with it. If anything, you're going to get more harsher punishments because you did evil with the power that was given to you over these men. These brothers that come into the truth are not your men. If they're under you, they're not your men. They're the Lord's men. They didn't come here to serve here. Nobody, you came into the school going in hard out, Mawa Khan, you know what I mean, Trooper, you say Khan Adawan Khan to me, not because you came to the truth to pick up the water that I asked you to pick up, or to bring me a drink when you go get me a drink back there. You are here because of the Lord. And as a man of the Lord over you, I have to remember that. I can't just think that I have somebody sitting here to do whatever I want them to do. You see what I'm saying? Like that's not what it's about, and that's not what men are supposed to do with rank. They have to realize, for one, we are all in IGBK under Commanding General Yohana.
That's right.
Our rank comes from Commanding General Yohana, and our rank can be taken away by Commanding General Yohana or whoever else he authorized over you to take that rank away from you.
Right.
And so if I got kicked out of the school tomorrow and I come up in here asking you to give me some water, then get the brothers and kick me the hell out of here. You're gonna throw me out like Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince. You throwing out the door. Nigga, I don't bring you water because, nigga, that's what I was made to do. I bring water to you because I serve the Lord. And this is why I'm doing this. And someone doing that is in danger because the Lord is not a respecter of person. He's not going to say, oh, that was an officer of 5,000. It's all right that he did that to this brother. Nah, it's not all right. Go ahead.
That's like it, sir. Within that, would it still be correct for the servant to obey the master, even though he's ordering him in a wrong spirit?
So, okay, this is what we say about orders in the UPK. Follow every lawful order. If someone gives you a lawful order, you follow it.
Con.
Now, if they give you an unlawful order, you do not follow it. Now, if someone gives you an unlawful order that you, oh no, they give it a lot.
Con, yeah.
If someone gives you a lawful order that you think is wrong, may not be unlawful, you just think it's wrong, or how it was delivered, or something in that manner.
Con.
You follow that order, and then you go to that brother alone, and you say, you know what, when you gave me this order, I don't think it was right. Or when you gave me this order, I don't like the way you were speaking to me, sir. And you do it in order as well, because you have to honor the men above you like a father. And that's why I started at Ephesians 6:1, because you're supposed to obey your parents in the Lord, because this is right. And it's the same thing. The men over you, you should honor them as a father. Matter of fact, I don't know for time's sake. I seen, I might have to play that. It was a heavy post. It made me a heavy post right now. But drop down to verse 11.
Con.
Mm-hmm.
This is the book of Ephesians, chapter 6, verse 11. Put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wills of the devil.
The wiles.
Wild, con.
Right. What does wiles mean? Don't look it up. Yeah, this one. I said don't look it up.
Oh, don't look it up?
Yeah.
Oh, the wiles is like mad attempts or crazy attempts.
He said maddest. He said, what'd you say?
I said originally like mad attempts, like crazy attempts, like a wiles of a daredevil.
Right. Wiles is like tricks.
Con.
Like the Wile E. Coyote, deception. You understand? He was always putting up a picture of a tunnel and then the thing running to the tunnel. That's a wiles. Now let's look it up. Look up wiles.
Con.
Let me see if I can find this thing real quick too. This was heavy. I like this. Yeah.
Wiles, cunning or devious stratagems employed in persuasion or manipulating someone to do what one wants.
Right. So now we have to stand against the wiles of the devil, the manipulation, the tricks, the things that he wants us to do. That's what we got to do. Because he's going around like a roaring lion, man. And so, long story short, things that come and interrupt discipline, order, structure, these are tricks of the devil. So we got to be strong in the spirit. We got to be strong in this Bible. Like somebody may think, because I know this much information, or I've done this much work, or accomplished these things, and just even that alone, you see how it sounds? It's saying like it just rolls off the tongue, bro. Like I remember we was coming on a family trip with some lady that was a family friend of my dad, and she was like a church-going hustling lady. She was always getting in lawsuits and coming up, and then she'd come join this church, and she'd be living free for a couple years, and then she'd join another church, and she'd be living free over there. It's crazy. What was her name? Willie Mae or something like that. Older black girl. My dad used to know. But she was like coming from some trip, and her granddaughter was like, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do this. She was like, me. That's all you care about. He like, I did this more, I did that, I did this, I've been doing that, I've been doing this, I've been doing that. And out of all of that, it's like, if you feel like something is owed to you for all of that, are you living the Bible?
Right.
Because you can know a lot of verses. You see what I'm saying? Like, it can be a brother that doesn't know any Bible verses. Brother can't quote one precept, and you can quote 1,000 precepts. But this brother's living brotherhood. This brother is the example of brotherhood. This is not it. So who needs to be in charge? You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's once again, as a Christian spirit, has always been around. It's the devil is saying I, me. And he's not getting you to focus on them, him, her. You understand what I'm saying? So that's a trick. But Salaki, let's go to I'll get the next one. Let's go, I believe, to Proverbs. 1 second. Let's go to Proverbs 10 and 17.
Khan.
Let me see what this is right here.
Bluetooth disconnected. Bluetooth pairing.
Khan.
What the hell? Nah, man. Oh, God. Damn, what does it keep saying? The same thing. You got it?
Khan.
Hold on. Yeah, sucks. So, this is a... I wish I could find this post. I should say, Long story short, the post I'm talking about, if brothers ever come across it, if they haven't, Busta Rhymes is talking about how he got so drunk and his son had to come and wake him up, or he had to send the bodyguards in to wake him up in the morning. And he was like, nigga, his son just sat him down. He's just like, Dad, I can't even say the things that I want to say to you out of the love and respect that I have for you. But last night, that shit that you did, you could have died. Marty lost this person. I'm sitting there watching you almost dying. I can't sit there and watch that. So these people that are coming here, you need to listen to them. Your bodyguards, whoever else is telling you what you need to do, you need to stop drinking. You need to listen to them. Because I don't know how to, you know what I'm saying, manage this being your son. But just, he corrected him, and you see he had a big change after that moment. But the way Busta Rhymes explained it showed the respect that his son really had for him. So we say that in the truth. Like, if you were a lower ranking brother and you have an issue with a higher ranking man, you can correct them, but it's a way to do it is you treat them like a father. You treat them like a father in that moment. And so it's still respectful, but at the same time, it is, telling the truth to them
Right.
as well. And if that brother is in the right spirit, he's going to receive what he's saying, because he's going to see the care that you have, and it's not just something that you just hate this brother. All right?
Right.
Let's go ahead.
Khan. This is the book of Proverbs. I was like chapter 10, verse 17.
Yep.
Khan. Proverbs chapter 10, verse 17. He is in the way of life that keepeth instruction, but he hath refuseth reproof. Erreth he that hideth hatred with lying lips, and he that uttereth a slander is a fool.
Right. That's exactly what it is. One more time, summary, go ahead. 10 and 17. It says, he is in the way of life that keepeth instruction. Somebody is on the right path of life if you keep instruction, you keep the correction and the orders that someone is giving you, right? But he that refuseth reproof erreth. You don't want to be corrected. Someone's telling you, hey, you're doing this wrong. You need to do this. You need to tighten up over here. And you reject it, you're going to end up losing in the long run. Right. And so that's pretty much it. Let's go to another one. Let's go to Proverbs 13 and 1. I'm going to go to.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 13, verse 1. A wise son heareth his father's instruction, but a scorner heareth not rebuke.
Right. A wise son heareth his father's instruction, but a scorner heareth not rebuke. You're going to grow if you take correction. You take checkings. You understand what I'm saying? If someone doesn't tell you the truth, then how can you grow? How can you become better? You thinking that it's hatred as your father is correcting you when it's really love. You'd be a wise son to take the instruction, the correction, the checking, the disciplining. If you did that, you would be a fool if you didn't, right?
Right.
But a scorner heareth not rebuke. Now we're gonna get the definition of discipline. Look that up real quick. Mm-hmm. It's all in the words. That's why I look at words like the words. You know, we use words to describe words, right? Every word ain't just one word. It means something. There's more words behind that word. You see what I'm saying? Like we just say words, but what does it really mean? That's why it's always good to look up words. Don't ever read a book and you don't know the word, what it means, and just skim past it. Stop. Don't be lazy. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking to myself too. Like if you catch yourself doing that, you don't really know what that word means, you kind of have a feeling of what it means, look it up. Be sure, because it'll help you understand. That's what reading comprehension. And with reading the Bible, a lot of times the basic words that we think we know, we don't really know. So before, did you look it up yet already? All right, but did you read it or live? You just read it that fast? Brother, multitasking. Before you read it again, what do you think discipline means?
I would say discipline is the ability to have control over yourself.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. See what I'm saying?
Kind
It's wrong. It is, but it's wrong. According to the definition. What does discipline mean to you?
I think it's just like one's own like structure. It's like the way that they operate, I guess.
It's wrong again to this. I think that's a part of the definition, but the main line definition, you read what it says when you Google on Google.
The practice of training people to obey rules or a code of behavior, using punishment to correct. That's
right.
Using punishment to correct disobedience.
You see that right there? Everybody would say what you said. I would say what you said till I looked it up. So we just use words on a daily basis that mean something to ourselves, when in reality, you're using a word, you really look into it, you can understand what we're talking about. I got a whole class on discipline. Anybody look it up? Not, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying here, but if I didn't bring it out, then we're not even having the same conversation.
Right.
That's very important. Like, that's what this Bible, you can read the Bible. If you don't look up some of these words, you're going to read something different. He's talking about something completely different to you. And it could change your understanding when you go and find the meaning behind these words. So read that one more time. Read it strong. Discipline. This class, we're talking about discipline. We're talking about practice. How they say we're talking about practice? We're going to be talking about practice. Are we talking about practice? We're talking about practice. Because Sarpakah is talking about discipline. We need discipline in the UPK.
Right.
We have discipline in the UPK. Why? Because it's of the Lord. This is how the Lord operates. We said, Ephesians 6:1, children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right.
Right.
Well, how is a parent going to get the child to obey? He has to have discipline. And what is the definition of discipline?
The definition of discipline.
Mm-hmm.
The practice.
It's a practice. We talking about practice. You got to practice this thing. You can't just fall into discipline. You got to try and try and try again. Your kid, sit down. They don't listen. Okay, pow. Okay, sit down. They listen. Next day, sit down. They don't listen. You get another pow pow. Oh, you wanted this popsicle? You're not getting it today because you're not listening. You're not maintaining the discipline. We have to practice this thing. And you brothers, Lord be with you that go to Hebrew Academy, you're going to be doing a lot of practice of discipline. You understand? But the practice of training, come on.
The practice of training people to obey rules.
Wait, now slow it down. People don't like this word, training. Hold on. And especially when it comes to females. If you say, I'm going to train you how to obey me, you sound like the evilest nigga in the world in 2024. You must, what do they call it? Chauvinistic, blah, 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 blah. Now, we ain't going to be doing all that. We ain't directing. This is for sisters. This ain't, I'm speaking in general. Because we're going to talk about brothers. We're going to talk about sisters. It ain't this here. That's your life. But I'm saying just in general, women, especially in modern day society, you say, I'm going to train you how. If you met a new woman, you're like, I'm going to train you how to serve me. That sounds like the evilest in the world. But guess what? When you go to work, what do you get?
You get trained.
You get training. Your boss is going to train you how to flip the burger, how to throw the fries, how to open the door, how to do our mind has been taught to reverence and obey and be disciplined under the white man. Come to work 9:45. When you gonna be? You gotta be there 9:45. If you don't, you're gonna lose your goddamn job. All right, we need to show up at camp at 10 o'clock. When are you there? You see what I'm saying? It's not discipline. The white man says, nigga, I'm paying you. You don't listen, then you're fired. Simple. You're going to get a write-up. You're going to get another write-up. And then you're gone. They're showing you, they're training you to obey them. And if you don't, then you're out of here. But see, we're in the truth. We brothers, we have a lot of love, a lot of mercy. But this thing cannot operate without any form of discipline. And this is how it works. It's in the word. One more time.
This is the book of Proverbs.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Salakia.
No. Go to the discipline definition. We're still in there.
There we go, Salakia.
Mm-hmm.
The practice of training people to obey rules or a code of behavior.
So that's the first half. You come here, this is how you do it. When you go to work, they say, this is how you do the fries. This is how you do the burger. This is how you do the salad. And then you don't do that. You don't follow your training. This is how we do this. When we go out, one brother speaks. He's in charge. The highest ranking man is the one in charge. They speak. It's not two people speaking at one time. It's not anybody over speaking to anyone. This is the training you get in the truth. A higher ranking man give you an order. You say con out on one con or con sir. It's not con. It's not right. It's not cool. It's not for show. It's con out on one con, sir. You might put extra on it. That's extra. You've gone above beyond. But it's really just con on one con. You can con on one con, sir. This is the structure that we have. You start going out of that, you're disobeying. You're training. And so what happens with disobedience? Keep going.
Using punishment.
Using what?
Punishment to correct disobedience.
Now, this is what discipline is. If they people join the Israelite school of UPK, these letters right here, just letters to somebody in the world. This up here, just a sign to somebody up in the world. Somebody in the truth, this is my fucking life. Excuse my French.
Right.
This ain't no letters to me. Nigga, this is Captain Kwamwal. This is Commanding General Yohana. This is Captain Kadolhar. This is Captain Mawakar. This is Kakamama. This is Tazabah.
Right.
This is Quran Yala, Natazab, Uragabar, Imawan, Kabataban. These are not letters. These are my brothers. These are my family. This is who I will kill and die for. And people join the Israelite school of UPK because they say you brothers have a lot of discipline. This is why people sign up. This is why they come here. This is why I came here. Because I watched some fake Israelites that don't have discipline.
Right.
I signed up to get punished if I don't follow an order. I signed up to get checked if I'm doing something wrong. That's what I signed up for. Did I understand it? Did I look up the word exactly? Nah, I'm a soldier. I was born this way. It was something in me. It was something in every brother that I just mentioned and thousands of other brothers that are in the UPK. It's something in you that makes you a soldier that knows that you want this life. Because without discipline, you feel weak.
Right.
You feel soft. That's for Edomites. The kids rolling all over, they're doing everything. They don't have no discipline. They don't have any structure. They don't have nothing. You understand what I'm saying? It's not something a soldier respects. And so that's what you may like, or you may hate your parents because of their discipline. When then you grow up, you be like, I respect it and I understand it. Go ahead.
That's a lot, sir, if I may. Like even as a child, I remember like obeying my father and like seeing other kids around and seeing how rowdy they were and everything. Like,
Right.
Like you can, like especially like around Edomites and everything like that, like you could really honestly see the spirit on them. Because for me, it was just like my father said, "Stand still, stand straight." It's like, okay, I'm gonna do that.
Right.
But for them, it was just like I see a parent tell them, it's just like they're just like, "F that, I'm gonna run this way," and like I'm gonna do everything I can to disrespect this person.
Right.
And that's like pretty much all the like what I've seen heathens and white people. That's how they pretty much grow up.
No, that's exactly it. And the cold part about it is the reason why they let them do that on another level is because they know they're setting them up to rule the world. So we look at it as Edomites as being bad and they not disciplined, when in reality they're like, they don't need discipline because they're gonna rule the world. And so they're gonna one day discipline you. And that's a whole nother, that you can go to a whole nother breakdown on that. But just for the basis of it, yeah, they're out of order and they're on some weird, they just do whatever they want. But the grand scheme of thing, they save their discipline for our black ass. They don't have to worry about, like, their discipline is just go to school, learn this, do this, da 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 da. We're not gonna beat this kid to understand this or be in fear and necessarily like that, because he's gonna be the one that's putting the fear in you for not showing up to work. He's gonna be the one that's gonna put you in fear when he pulls you over. Like his job is to discipline everybody else, so he just does whatever he wants to. But that's another thing. I'm wanting something else, but go ahead.
That's like, so would that also be like in the spiritual sense when referring to them as kings and queens because of how they are brought up in that way? Exactly.
Yeah, there's a book. It's called Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome. I think we got it back there, but a sister broke that down. She was like, black parents, you know, their kids, you go into the bank, the kid has to stay right by you. They can't run around. White kids jumping all over everything and moving around because the parent is he's letting them jump on the table because he wants that kid to have a sense of the world is mine and this is my playground. But our kids, we had to raise them up so close to us, to our hip, because at any given moment, a white man could come and take them, could kill them, could punish them, and we didn't have any authority over them. So certain parts, that's where the abuse comes in the black and Hispanic community, where they're abusing the kids, and trying to make them be disciplined like comedians do all the time. They make it a joke. Like, we got beat when I was younger. They make that seem cool when it's really abuse. You're laughing about abuse, and we better than white folks, when in reality, all those kids end up going to jail that got beat and end up becoming abusers to their wives, and that's not discipline. That is abuse. And they think that they're better than white people because white people don't abuse their children. Right. That's not discipline, you know what I mean? But Shulagi.
I'm sorry, I was going to ask, so that will, because we still have the slave mentality.
Mm-hmm. We confuse discipline with abuse.
Right.
That's something that we have done. But like you said, the righteous way that you're saying for your father and understanding and learning growing up, that's because of discipline.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's a difference. And yeah, we are better than them because of that. You know what I mean?
Right.
But let's see. I see a couple other words. I'm just gonna read it for time's sake. Similar words to discipline: control, regulation, direction, order, authority, rule, strictness. You understand? Strictness. A firm hand, routine, regiment, training, teaching, instruction, drill, drilling, exercise, use of punishment. And so that's what it's another thing with words. It's a thing called etymology. You ever heard of that?
The origin.
Exactly. Etymology is like where you find where this word comes from. So you can look up any word and then type in etymology instead of definition, and it'll break down where that came from. So the word, let me see if I can see if you can guess this. It's another word that's similar, pretty much same letters as giving you the hint in the Bible that has discipline in it.
Discipline. Disobedience.
It's going to be majority the same thing.
Disciple.
There you go. Most High Christ. Yeah. You look up this word disciple and the etymology of it, it comes from the same Latin word. A disciple is a personal follower of Jesus during his life, especially one of the 12 apostles. A follower or student of a teacher, leader, or philosopher. You understand? Disciple and discipline is the same word. So give me John chapter 8, verse 31. I'm going to that. We're going to show you how to be a disciple of Christ. So all these things is important, man. And that's just
It's 21.
What did I say? 8 and 31.
31,
So
sorry.
yeah, John 8 and 31.
Kind of one kind.
Go ahead, we got it.
Kind of.
This is the book of John, chapter 8, verse 31.
Mm-hmm.
Then said Yahushua to those Jews which believed on him,
Mm-hmm.
if ye continue in my word, then are ye my disciples indeed.
Right. If you continue on in my word, what does that mean? If you continue in my word.
That's Salakia in his teachings.
Okay. What does continue mean?
Salakia to do it after he's gone.
Okay.
As in never stopping, never ending.
Okay. Continue in my word, his teachings. So disciple means the student of, right?
Kind of.
The teaching and learning. You continue in his word, you are
Teaching.
that. Okay.
Salakia. Would it mean you're disciplining as well?
Mm-mm. Get a sister shot. Huh?
Learning,
Learning, yes, but if you continue in his word,
you're applying it to your life,
correct, because you are
living it.
Salakia, discipline.
yes, but going back, okay, I'm just gonna give it because you're obeying him.
Kind of right.
If you obey what Christ is saying to do, then you're my disciples. If you disobey me, then you're not my disciples. It's very simple. You see what I'm saying?
Kind of.
And Christ did run a tight ship, and he was telling his men, "This is order right here. If you my disciples, if you do what the hell I tell you to do, if you start doing your own thing, then you're not following me no more." This is why Christ always talking about follow me. What do you think is in that follow me? Listen to what the hell I'm telling you to do and do it.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? He's not asking, he's giving out orders. You obeying my commandment. He commanding people. He's not asking them nothing. Show up here, be here, go over here, do this, sit down, Shema, listen, speak. You can't. Sometimes tell you be quiet. Sometimes I'm gonna tell you start talking.
Right.
You on the mic, I go. It's lucky. I don't have a can't. Nah, you're not ready to. This is the time. This is an order. Speak. This is what Christ told us to do. This ain't the man over you tell you. This is the Lord. It's time to speak. You can tell the Lord, Salaki, sir.
Right.
No,
Right.
it's not how it works. It's put down that way, man,
Right.
for a reason.
Count on Khan.
Let's see. Go to verse 30. Oh, we read verse 32. Oh, yeah, that's a famous one too. You read verse 32, John 8 and 32.
Count
I'm
on
gonna go
Khan.
to another. I'm gonna end that class pretty soon.
This is the book of John, chapter 8, verse 32.
Mm-hmm.
And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
Right. And as you know, now you following Christ, obeying his orders, following the men that he put in charge. That is how you know the truth. That's how you understand what's really going on. But now, okay, let's go back to Proverbs.
Oh, Salakia.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, so like it shall make you free. And so it's very similar to how my original definition of discipline, like
Mhm.
self, like be able to do itself. That's what people in like today's world they say. They also say just like when you're disciplined, you actually gain a lot of freedom.
Exactly. That's a good point. And that's something I think, did I write that down in my notes as well? But now that is true because that's the law, statutes, and commandments in essence. Someone comes in and they hear the law, statutes, commandments, you can't eat pork, you can't celebrate Christmas, you can't celebrate Halloween, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do this, you can't do that. Out of all of those rules that you have to obey, you will be set free.
Right.
You become a slave to the Lord, but you'll be free from your oppressor. You have all this freedom, America make you free, you end up a slave. It's that simple.
Right.
It's really that simple. It's very complex, but it's very simple. You come to the school, we say you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do this, you can't do that. But you're not going to prison. You go join a gang, they say you can do whatever you want to do. You want to smoke a blunt, you want to pop a pill, you want to rob a store, you want to do a drive-by, do it. You're free to do that. Where are you going to end up in? Prison. Or dead. Let's just use the prison example. You can't do nothing you want to do. Now you're not free at all. You have all that goddamn freedom, and now you are a slave
Right.
to the white man.
Right.
You all this freedom, you didn't had a DUI, drunk driving, and killed somebody because you was free to do what you want to do. And now you can't do what you want to do. But now you following discipline, you following orders. You can't just sleep with this woman. You can't just do this. You can't just do that. Sleep with this man. You can't do this. Guess what? You don't have to go buy no pills because you got HIV.
Right. Right.
You don't have to go to the doctor. You free from that. You don't have to go to the doctor about lung cancer because you're smoking. You free. What else? You don't have to worry about the gout because you eating all this pork and they got to cut your damn foot off. You free to go run around the neighborhood because you have your feet because you don't have gout.
Right.
But you stop eating pork. So in the discipline and in the rules of telling you no, you actually became free. And in this freedom that this white man is telling you, girl, you can talk to whoever you want to talk to, girl. You can get you your own man. You don't got to listen to no man. You free. But you got 3 kids, 3 baby daddies, and you have to go to work 2 jobs. Because you was free. You was free. You free. You real free, right?
Right.
Yeah, you real free. You 3 jobs free.
Right.
4 kids, 5 baby daddies. You don't know who the father is. That's freedom for you. You could have been over here saying sex is marriage. You lay with this man, you stay with this man until you die, and you gotta listen to what he says, but you are not getting your eye knocked the hell out by some nigga you met at the club last week. You free to go to the club all the time. You want to go to the club whenever you want to go to the club? You're going to go to the club and somebody's going to shoot that club up. And your freedom. You see what I'm saying? Like, you doing whatever you want to do And all these negative consequences happen in life based off of your freedom. But then when you restrict yourself and you control yourself and you maintain discipline, there's a lot of things you won't be able to do, but it actually frees you up in the long run.
Right.
And that's the situation that Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans are in. We sound crazy when we tell people they can't celebrate Christmas, Halloween, but they don't see the future of your son becoming a drug dealer so he can buy Christmas gifts for his children.
Right.
And you think that being free celebrating this holiday is going to make things better. It really makes things worse. Go ahead.
That's all I was just gonna say. That whole concept is similar to Luciferianism, but it's more similar to the reason why people become atheists is because they believe is like, since I have the option to make this choice, which is a sin, it's like I'm free, so I have. So they feel like they have to do it.
Right.
They feel like it's like they're compelled to do it even more so because they're told that they can't do it.
The statement of them, and that's what shows you that's one thing. Learning about that stuff, Satanism, whatever, you get to really see that the white man is the devil the Bible speaks of.
Right.
The oppressor really is the devil, because it gives you a look into the mind state of them, and it's everything contradictory of the Bible.
Right.
And that's literally what they try to do. And it's like, I might do a class on that one too one day. But it's just an interview of these Satanists. It's a white girl. Her name is like Zena something LaVey. It's Anton LaVey is the person that started the Church of Satan. His daughter, I think her name is Zena LaVey. And this started in San Francisco. So in 1966, they opened up the Church of Satan in San Francisco. And in the 80s, she had an interview with some Christian dude. And they just explaining everything that they believe and the reason why they believe. And the statement that I was going to say of the Satanic Church is, do as thou wilt. That's one thing that they live by. Do what you want. That's the complete opposite of the Bible.
Right.
The purpose of our life is to fear the Lord with all our heart and to keep his commandments. I'm paraphrasing wrong, Ecclesiastes though, but it says, fear the Lord, keep his commandments. I'll get there real quick. But that them telling you do what you want, it sounds very attractive and it sounds very fun. But in reality, this is completely evil. But Ecclesiastes 12:13, let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. Our job as a human is to obey the Lord's commandments. Satan's job is to do whatever you want. See how contradictory and opposite, they're polar opposites.
Right.
And everything they do is opposite to this Bible. And so the majority of the people that join the Church of Satan, the Edomites. Book of the Bible is about Israelites, black people. These people over here in the interview, they're like, we don't care about anyone else but ourselves. Why should we pay to feed poor people? That's not natural. That's not nature. We should not take care of poor people because they're lower on the evolutionary list. If they don't know how to take care of themselves, we're not going to take care of them. So reality, when I'm listening to that, I'm like, damn, they don't care about poor people. Who are poor people? Who are poor people, huh?
Black and brown.
Exactly. So they hate Israelites. You see what I'm saying? Like, just naturally by following it, I'm going to go into a whole nother time. I'm having to make that into a breakdown. But if you really church, and shout out to Malcolm Yah, man, most high Christ for that brother, that he was saying that, like, at a certain point in time, someone was saying, you look at this to study your enemies and see what's going on. People might look, God damn, why are you reading this book that they have? You're trying to see what the hell they're saying. They tell you everything about them and how opposite it is of our book. They tell you that the birthday is the most important day of someone's year, is where they become a god. That's what we've been saying. That's why we don't do it. They're like, this is why you need to do it. So it's like, it shows you this Bible is real, because these people have made millions and millions of dollars leading people opposite of this book, and they're using this stuff for the music industry and all that. Sorry, go ahead.
Right. So I was gonna say, I feel like I believe it speaks more multitude towards them being the devils because they claim the name Luciferian, even
Right.
though their whole outlook of how they believe is something that they're naturally born with. Because I can remember in high school and even in some college classes I said there are white people that I went to school with that would openly just talk about it. Like, I don't care about them. I don't care about these babies or these people or just being completely being just racist by themselves, saying it's all about me. And it's just like they just put the label of Luciferianism on it, even though it's like you're already attracted to that, even without it being called Luciferianism.
Exactly.
So that's just who you are.
Exactly. And you know what's heavy out? These people. So like I lost my train of thought real quick. I'm reading these comments. I don't know who these devils are up in here. There's a whole bunch of devils in the comments.
All right.
Hiding, being cowards. But I'm thinking about this, man. This is hitting me. I'm gonna see if you get tired, and we're gonna end this class. Like I got a lot of precepts. I always do this. Niggas never get precepts from me. You just have to write them down. I got some, but I get that from how I was raised up, how I was trained up, man. Precepts is cool sometimes, but really breaking stuff down to understand it. Officer Wanyala taught me that in some way, shape, or form. I need to tighten it up a little bit, but he just was like, fake Israelites, they love using a lot of precepts. If you watch fake Israelite class, not to learn, obviously, but to see what the hell, how they move around. And then once he said that, I'm like, damn, I noticed that they use a lot of precepts. And someone that is not in the spirit will be like, damn, these cats really know the Bible because they know all these precepts and they call all these precepts out. There's nothing wrong with knowing precepts. There's brothers in the truth that know precepts. It's good. But they can't break them down. That's the difference between General Muhammad. Like you watch when he breaks, he might go for 15, 20 minutes breaking this precept down. He's letting you really understand what's being said. They can't do that. They think just saying 20, 30 precepts back to back makes you understand it. But you really didn't learn anything at all.
Right.
So that's why I'm kind of like this. Like I said, I can still tighten up and bring out more precepts as we go into class. I'm going to get better on this. Y'all forgive me. So the same thing, Kabana Juliana, General Muhammad, like that's what's different about the UPK is that we really this is scripture breakdown. We're going to break this concept down so you can understand what is going on. And that's the difference. But now, let me see if you can get this. We said, obey the Lord, follow his commandments, do as thou wilt. Now, I don't know how to formulate this question. If you moving around, the answer is right there though. You moving around, you getting orders, and you're not following them, what are you doing?
You're doing what you want.
Exactly. You say it again?
You're doing what you want.
You doing what?
What you want.
And let's wrap it up with that. That's the answer. And what is that?
Salakia, doing as thou wilt.
Mm-hmm.
Disobedience.
But no, you doing as you want. Where does that come from?
Oh, Salakia. From sin? Or where does it come from?
Mm-hmm.
Doing what you want. Not disobedience?
What do you say?
Disobedience?
Yeah, disobedience. Where does doing what you want come from? It's the slogan of
the Luciferian,
of the Church of Satan. So where is it coming from?
Coming from Satan.
Exactly. So you have what on you?
The demon.
Exactly. See how it all ties in together? When you doing what you want, you got a demon on you. That's exactly what Satan wants you to do.
Right.
Is do as thou wilt. Don't say count out on one kind. Scroll past the post. Don't do this order. Chill out. Stay in the bed. Don't go. Do what you want. He's like, yeah, I won. I don't care what it looks like. You can do what you want. If you want to go eat 100 McDonald's burgers or you want to go smoke a crack pipe, just do whatever you want, but don't do what this brother tell you to do.
Right.
That can look 1,000 different ways. Your husband tell you to do this. You can do 100 different things as long as you don't do what he said do.
Right.
Satan wins. You can be the best dribbler, Kobe Bryant. That looks great from the outside. Who wouldn't want to be Kobe Bryant? The nigga was worth $100 million. Nigga flying helicopters like you ride an Uber. You call an Uber up, Kobe calling up helicopters. They said he was making fun of a brother that he was playing on the basketball thing with, or telling him, he's like, yeah, you know I'm gonna beat y'all tonight. He's like, why? He's like, because y'all rode on the bus, I came in on a helicopter. Kobe Bryant used helicopters like other regular people use an Uber. And he used that to flex his power. I love Kobe Bryant. It's like, not in the, you know what I'm saying? That's one of my favorite basketball players, carnally. But seeing this as a man and who is in the world, him being a great basketball player didn't mean a goddamn thing. Him having $100 million didn't mean a goddamn thing. He still was doing as thou wilt.
Right.
He was doing what he wanted to do. And he was great at doing it. And it looked positive and it looked glorious. But that's not what the Lord wanted him to do. He didn't follow Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. He didn't make his life about fearing God and keeping his commandments, so his life meant nothing.
Right.
He died in the goddamn helicopter, and that's that. Everybody else can remember him. Everybody else can do all this and all that. At the end of the day, his life was in the Lord's hands, and he probably would still be here if he was following the Lord. But since he was doing as he will, Satan won. So that's what I'm saying. It can look like anything.
Right.
Doing as thou wilt can look like Oprah or Jay-Z or the crackhead on the corner. All of that is good in Satan's mind. He don't care. Thanksgiving or Kwanzaa. Don't matter. Christmas or Hanukkah. Oh, no, it's like it. But the white man's Hanukkah. You know what I mean? We celebrate Hanukkah. But you can you put the hat on. You want to be Jewish. You want to be Muslim. You want to be Buddhist. You want to be whatever you want to be. Do what you want to do. It's free game. As long as you don't do what this says to do.
Right.
Then it's a problem. And that's why the Lord is like, don't do nothing. Don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. It's 613 don't do. Around about. That's how many laws, statutes, and commandments. He came up with a list, gave it to Moses of everything not to do. Because if you start doing what you want to do or whatever you think you should be doing, you are going to follow Satan. That's the wiles of the devil. The tricks of Satan is freedom. It's how you end up being a slave. And the Lord is saying, all these rules, you become a slave to me, it's going to really set you free. And so that's the big difference. So if you're not disciplined, you're not in order, you following Satan out. You are listening to a demon. And that you got to be aware of. So long story short, wrapping it up, going into self-discipline now. It is important. The parts y'all were talking about is we do have that, but you got to discipline yourself. And discipline yourself means you're going to have to hold yourself accountable. And when you don't hold yourself accountable, you're going to have to punish yourself.
Right.
You're going to have to figure that out. That's the part of the discipline. Some dude was like, yeah, I'm going to do 100 push-ups every day. If I don't do 100 push-ups, I'm sleeping on the floor. I took my bed away from myself. I'm disciplining myself. One dude I'm watching online, he's like, yeah, I went to the gym. They didn't have the regular treadmill. All they had was the elliptical. I hate the elliptical. He said, just because I had that thought that I hate getting on the elliptical, I told myself we're going to be here for 4 hours now. He disciplined himself. And if you're able to do that and correct yourself and check yourself, then you won't have to be disciplined by others. But if you don't, then that's what's going to happen.
Right.
And so that's the importance, and that's how things work in life. It's like you going around telling everybody else, no, you can't do this, no, you can't do that. We go into camp, you telling people what they can't do. What do you tell yourself you can't do?
Right.
You tell yourself, I can't eat this cookie. I can't have this Twinkies in the cabinet. I can't do this. I can't have that. I can't go here. I can't go there. I can't have this drink. I have to have it. Do you tell yourself no? When do you do that? How much discipline do you have? You're not supposed to have arguments with yourself. You're supposed to say, this is what we're doing, and this is what we do. Because when you start having arguments with yourself, go to the last precept. Is that Titus I want? Double-minded man, and we'll leave on that. You want to follow orders one day and then don't want to follow orders another day? Titus 1:8. You want to be in the school and not be in the school. That doesn't make any sense. You signed up for it, stay on it. You signed up for discipline, don't be mad when you get disciplined. You understand? Go ahead.
That's like in 1:8.
Yep.
It's the book of Titus, chapter 1, verse 8. But a lover of hospitality.
No, that's not what I want. Is it Titus 1:8? I might be wrong. Let me see. Yep, I'm wrong. Hold on. What am I looking for? I should know this one off the top. My fault. What am I looking for? James 1:8. Did we do that already? Nah. Go to James 1:8. Let's see what that. Yeah, that's what I want. James 1:8. So like.
This is the book of James, chapter 1, verse 8.
Mm-hmm.
A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways.
Right. You can't be having conversations with yourself about, okay, I said I was going to do this, and now it's time to go ahead and do it, and be like, you know what? I don't want to do it right now. Nah. You got to have one mind.
Right.
You said we getting up at 6 o'clock, get up at 6 o'clock. You said you was going to go to the gym this time, go to the gym. That was your initial mind. You said, I'm not eating, I'm doing low carbs, do low carbs. Don't let your mind play it. You bargaining with yourself, all right, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Nah, you unstable. Right. You double-minded. The right mind, the one that was in charge, told you the right thing to do. Satan came in as a voice, as a demon telling you to not do that. And you sitting there having a conversation, you think it's yourself, when it's really a demon talking to you. And that's the skill that demons have. They're able to talk to you, and you think it's your voice in your head, when it really is a demon talking to you. Right. And not to get all spooky or whatever. It's just, it is what it is. You know what I mean? This is what we teach in UBK. It's like, you think that something is telling you, man, I want to smoke this cigarette. That's not your voice. That's something else telling you to smoke the cigarette, or smoke this weed or whatever, do this or do that. And so you have to be aware of it so then you can battle that demon now. And now you take yourself out of it and you're like, nah, get from behind me, Satan. Get behind me, say like, get out of the way. Right. I already made the decision. I've already disciplined myself. And when I don't do, when I go with what you're saying, I'm gonna have to check myself. I have to lose something. I have to punish something. Right. I tell you, go home and beat your back like the Panthers used to do. Don't do no weird stuff like that. But you know what I mean? Like, you might have to run an extra mile. You might have to do 20 more push-ups. Something. You're going to have to figure it out until you're able to get over that demon. You know what I mean? And stay consistent in that discipline. Go ahead.
That's like, sir, I was going to just ask, would that be, like getting over the demon, would the process of that be through prayer and fasting?
There you go. That's a very important thing. And we have fasting, prayers to build up your spirit. Right. And the fasting is to also build up your spirit. Like, now that you're going without, you know that you don't have to do this over here. You don't have to, smoke cigarettes, blah, blah, blah. So, and that's like right in line with that. You're building discipline within yourself. And so, another dude, he was talking about, man, I run all these miles. I've been running all these miles. He said, I hate running miles, but I do it because I'm callousing my brain. Like a callus you get on your hands if you play guitar or if you lift weights. Everybody has the things. Your hands become harder because they used to the pain of lifting weights, and now it doesn't hurt anymore because they become stronger. It's almost like, it's ugly the way it is on your hands, but it's really showing the strength that you have. Same thing, like you running, or this person is saying they're running all these goddamn miles. David Goggins, I don't know if you ever heard of him. Goggins run 7,000 miles in a year. Did 267 marathons in 1 year if you divided up that number. He did 4,000 push-ups in 1 day. This brother has done some amazing things, but he's like, I hate running, but I do all this running because I'm callousing my brain. I'm making my brain harder so that if I get the call that my mom died in the middle of the night, I don't mentally fall apart and throw everything away because my mind is stronger because I had this discipline so long. I'm mentally stronger now. And that's what it is. And when you do harder things or you challenge yourself, or you always trying to grow, then you're able to, be mentally strong in times of adversity.
Right.
And so that's where it's important as a camp, as being brothers in the school, is in order to have that discipline, because when times get hard, nigga, come on, man.
We're gonna drop the sword.
We're gonna, not even that. Just imagine the difference. Like, would you imagine if somebody was arguing about pizza or just nothing? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're fighting about nothing. You have no discipline. You have no mental strength. So what happens if somebody dies? You about to be killing each other. Same person you calling your brother and shalom, my nigga, something just bad happened. We in war. This nigga dropped dead. You disagree how it happened. Are you gonna kill this nigga over it? Things are gonna fall apart. This is a famine. These people ain't ate in a week. What are you gonna do? You gonna fucking kill each other, man. If you don't have that discipline, man, that brother, that is, it has to be enforced.
Right.
It has to be enforced. And that's what it is, man. So with that, I'm gonna pass the class over to Trooper Mawakan.
Khan. Men of Israel, Hamajim.
Whoa, we gotta block somebody on the chat. This dude talking about, can you circumcise me, man? How do you block? So block it, delete comment, and put this person, this Edomite, ban user and delete their comments. Yeah, these Edomites is watching us, that's what I'm trying to tell y'all. It's time to get ready for war.
That's right.
Ain't no reason they should be in Richmond, California, some devil with a Nazi cross.
That's wild.
Watching our class, yeah, that's wild because he typed it in. Some of these viewers is always watching. They never say nothing. That's the ones I'm worried about. But yeah, I ain't worried about nothing. But that's the ones I'm thinking about and watching about. You know what I mean? Like all of our protocols, everything we say. You know what I mean? Is discipline is important. Going with two brothers here, going with two brothers there, because we got real enemies.
Right.
And it's not our brothers. It's not the niggas we labor amongst. You know what I'm saying? If something is making you an enemy with your brother, what is that?
That's a demon.
There you go. All right, this brother been paying attention. Let's go.
Men of Israel, Hamajim Shabbat, Hamajim, Barak, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai Barakatham.
Yahweh Hashem Yahushai Barakatham.
Hamajim Batar. Men of Israel, we're going to Sar to turn to the sister for a courtesy salute. Sar. Men of Israel, Hamajim Shabbat.
Oh, the other way around, Salak.
Oh, Salak.
That's what?
Hamajim
Hamad Shabbat.
Shabbat. Hamajim,
That's what?
Barak, Yahweh Shamar Alatah
Bashim
Bashim
Yahushai.
Yahushai.
Yahweh Shamar Latam Hashem Yahushai.
Men of Israel, Sar,
And just say Yad Matah.
Maj Matah,
Yad Yam.
Yad Yam Matah,
Dismiss.
dismissed.
All right.